when I was 9 years old, I wanted to be Godzilla. So that should
Sorry,
put you into
what?
perspective. And when I was 9 years old, I was like, when I grow up, either I want to be Godzilla or I want to be Optimus Prime. So
These are very,
I can't have.
very realistic expectations you set on yourself.
I was gonna do an Italian accent, but then I realized that I can't do an Italian accent. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all horrible. What's up, people?
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna try. I thought I could do it. You know, it's the thought that counts.
An Italian accent. Isn't this movie French?
Oh my God! I knew it. French. I always see people. If you listen to our previous recording, you will know and forgive me because me and geography and history are not friends.
So yeah.
All of my sins have been washed away.
All of your sins.
I almost sang a P. Diddy song, but I was like, nah, not
no.
today. Anyway. Welcome once again, folks, to the Chilli Penguins podcast. I am Jobadiah Tinehouse, and as always with me.
Hello everybody. This is Pison the Seventh here. How are we doing today?
Today we're feeling badass.
Badass?
Yes.
Sunglasses on, badass. Leather jacket on. What was it? Yes. Like a mini beanie on.
Mini beanie and some milk. Who knew milk could be badass?
Man made
if your kid doesn't want to
badass.
drink milk, show them Leon. They'll be like, you know what? When I grow up, I want to be Leon.
You know what? That's. I don't. As far as role models go, I don't know.
Okay, you know. As far as role models go, but the badassery is there.
Yes, that is there. Role models, not so much.
Questionable, if you may. Questionable.
Very questionable. Very questionable.
90s action is just different.
Bro, this movie... Okay, first of all, there's a lot of great things about this movie. But also, this movie is very 90s.
Like, it's so 90s, bro.
So 90s. Like, I was watching it recently and I had to tell myself, this was the 90s. This was the 90s.
I like the 90s of it, though.
The 90s...
But here's the thing.
Wait, sorry, before you continue, it's like the 90s is a theme now.
Yes, it's the 90s. We have modism, we have cubism, we have 90s.
The 90s.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah, the 90s was strong in this film.
It's almost like watching it now. It feels like the movie itself is aware that hey, I'm from the 90s.
I'm from the 90s.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the best 90s film I've ever seen. It looks like that.
Yeah.
Which is kind of an endearing quality. You know, it's like, you know, when something is the best of its time.
Yes.
Therefore, you can always like enjoy it because it just succeeded at being that thing.
And I think what's good about it is that it knows what it is and it leans in.
Oh, it leans in, yes.
Yes. For those who might be confused, and I have no idea why you would be confused, but we are talking about Leon. Not the Lion King. We're talking about Leon the Professional. Was it 1994? Maybe?
4.
Yeah. 1994. Directed by Luc Besson, I think.
Yes.
I think written and directed, does it not?
Yes, written and directed.
Yeah. Starring's got some heavyweights in the cast. We've got Jean Reno, we've got Gary Oldman, baby Natalie Portman, emphasis on the baby, yes. And Danny Elio. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But it's one I would, again, I'm only assuming based on how, like, the language. This film feels like one of the 90s legendary films.
Yes.
I put it up there with like Heat in terms of like this type of films. It kind of fits within like that heavyweight of those days type of films.
It's just so good. It's just so good. Also, before we continue,
Yes.
the movie Leon is an Italian. So I was right with my first guess.
Well, Leon is an Italian, sure, but isn't this movie a French film?
Luke is French.
Yeah, it's his movie.
So since it's his movie, the whole thing is French?
Yeah.
That's racist.
I mean, yes.
Bonjour. Is bonjour French or Italian?
French.
God damn it. What is Italian then? Oui?
Don't ask me questions I can't answer.
Hey, you are the history buff on some World War II.
I'm not a legend person. I'm not a language person.
True. But yes. Written and directed by Luc Besson. Awesome cast.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very, very, very big, legendary cast.
Obviously, Jean Reno is amazing in this film. Natalie, though. Young Natalie
done did it.
Get out of here, bro.
Not gonna lie,
How do you know?
She really like. Was this her first film?
One of her first.
Yeah, but like she delivered. And to us, I think she was 12 when they were making this film. She looks 12, but she was probably also 12. And I think for a 12-year-old to pull off all of that, yeah.
Bruh. Hold up, man. I've always wondered. I'm a huge film nerd, but it's something that I never understand. How do child actors act? Is there like a child acting school? That's the part that I always miss. Is there a guide or like how do they do it?
I'm pretty sure like the parents get like a, you know how like singers get like a singing coach.
Oh, so there's children acting coaches.
Yeah, but like also if you were in like primary school, they've got like drama and you have to do all these stage plays. You know how like parents have to go watch their kid be a tree.
Okay, listen up. Every kid can do a stage play. No kid can pull off a freaking amazing Oscar-worthy performance in an international film.
But here's the thing: you have to start off somewhere, and like I'm sure these agents see like that's a really good tree right there, that they're like in that stage play, and then they like get them like an acting coach, work on their craft, and also there's probably some that like naturals, who just watch TV and always wanted to be an actor and like would practice and rehearse and like in their houses and like
at 9.
Yeah, some of them probably.
Name one thing you were good at 9 years old.
Listen.
Name one good thing.
This isn't about me.
You were good at.
This is not about me, okay?
Actually, let's stretch it from 9 to like 13. Give me one thing you were excellent at.
Hey.
Like you could have went professional on at 9 years old.
Actually, I was good at running. I was like in the athletics.
You were good at running?
Yes.
Nigga. No, but every kid was good at running, except if you were on, the larger side. Which
don't
is understandable.
Hey, there were some very fast, large kids out there. I stand on your side.
But professional running. You know what? I probably ran too. I probably was drawing some cartoons. I wanted to be when I was 9 years old. I wanted to be Godzilla. So that should
Sorry, what?
And when I was 9 years old, I was like, when I grow up, either I want to be Godzilla or I want to be Optimus Prime. So
these are very
I can't have
very realistic expectations you set on yourself.
Listen, man. The bottom line is parents should pay attention to what their kids are good at 9.
At a very young age, yeah. Because I think if you feed like that very early passion, you can like really excel at it. Because I think as kids, we like things, and then if there isn't really any like support, even if it's like small, sometimes we'll give up on something and then we'll never pursue it again.
Yeah. So any hint of, obviously he's not gonna be like a prodigy, but some kids have a proclivity for certain things. Pay
Listen,
attention,
bro,
be like,
when I get a kid, at like the moment the man can say words, I'm putting him in front of a computer.
okay, to do what?
He's gonna, I don't know, man. The way the world's going, he needs to know how to use that thing.
Oh, yeah.
He might be like the next like genius coder or whatever. I don't know, or she.
I'll put him in the garden. He might be the next genius gardener. We need those too, by the way.
You know what? Yes, versatility.
We need
We need
food.
all of them.
Yes, but yeah, as soon as a kid can identify,
What they want.
yes, not
Yeah.
even what they want. As soon as a kid knows that if I press this button, the phone turns on. It's go time. It's go time.
It's go time.
We don't waste time here. Drop and give me 65.
That's funny.
Leon, bruh. Leon has one of the. Remember. Which movie were we talking about? Where we said the IMDb gives nothing, or gives little information.
It's quite a
Which movie
bit
was
though.
it? No, last time we did District 9, right?
Yeah,
Was it District 9?
that was the last one. Yeah,
That was. Then we were like, it doesn't give much.
this one didn't give much. It didn't really give a lot.
Yes, Leon is even less than District 9.
What's the IMDb saying?
An Italian hitman protects a New York orphan. That's it.
No ways.
That's it,
No
bruh.
ways.
That is insane. How do you feel about that one?
I don't want to say I don't like it because that's true, but in the sense that like that could be so many other different movies. Like so much happens in this film,
Yes.
but actually, I like it in the sense that you don't know exactly what's going on. It just gives you like a skeleton of a skeleton.
Yes. Like a sub. You know what it is? 90s movies, they didn't feel the need to give out too much information.
Yeah.
Modern movies, they do a lot.
They over-explain.
Yes, you see them trailers, they'll be showing major plot points.
Yeah.
90s were like, no, we cool. We know what we're doing.
Also, it's like in these days you have so much access to information. So I think it's also like an overcorrection where they feel like they have to explain everything so that it's like this is like it's believable. But sometimes like you're overdoing it.
Yeah, you're overdoing it, and in the process, you end up brewing it.
Yeah. I agree.
But Leon came out in 1994. This movie was a hit because it was made on a budget of like 16 and it made 45 million. That's
Damn. Okay.
more than double.
Yeah. Because typically they say, I mean, with 16, I'm not sure because that's like what the to make it. Say the marketing maybe like another. I don't know how much it would be back in those days, like another 10 or so. So yeah, make profit.
15.
Yeah.
But then the award season came through and it was awarded.
What did it get?
It got nominated for Hold Up. Let's pull up.
Holding?
Oh my god. Didn't it get an Academy Award? Was I dreaming?
Maybe.
Maybe I was dreaming.
Yeah, we do that a lot.
Listen, first of all, hey, listen to me.
I'm listening.
I'm pretty sure Luke was nominated for his screenplay. There is no way. There is no way. That's such an oddly specific imagination. You did imagine a whole genre, a whole movie, though.
Listen, this is not about me. This is not about me.
This is. You know what? You've infected my precious mind.
It depends. Like, what award show are you talking about?
yeah.
Because it did win quite a bit, but it's like depends which award you're talking about.
Yeah, so they won. I can't say that word. Milieu film. Best actor. Oh, best actor also got nominated. Best director, nice. Best music, nice. Best cinematography, nice. Best editing and best sound editing. What awards are these?
Probably
France.
again. Remember what I said? Remember what I said? French film.
So it's so weird that a French guy would make a movie about an Italian guy. I don't know why that's weird.
Hey man, them French people do it different down there or up there, wherever there is.
Somewhere, anywhere there.
Yeah.
But yes, one of my favorite things about this movie. I mean, so many.
Wait. Young Natalie got Best Actress in Leading Role.
Nomination.
Winner.
I knew it.
In the award circuit community awards. Okay, I don't know what that is, but still.
Oh yes.
Oh,
Young
yeah.
Artist Awards. How old was she though?
Well, she was 12, I think.
Man, that's how you know. If you get nominated for the Young Artist Award at 12, you're gonna rock up at the school playing like, listen to me, Timothy. I run this shit now, okay? Did you see my award? Tell me I can play. You can tell me I'm playing the tree no more. No, I am
I
Lady
run
Bugbear.
this now.
Yes, I'm playing. You're gonna be the rain, Timothy. How about that?
Also, like 16 nominations. It's being nominated.
Where else have we seen Danny Elio from? He looks familiar.
Somewhere, I guess.
I've seen him.
I know his
It feels
face.
like recent.
Recent?
Yes, he's a big actor.
I don't know about recent.
I'm saying it feels like I've seen him in a film that I've seen recently.
Oh,
May not
okay.
have been released recently,
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
but I must find out where I saw it. Maybe it was Leon, and that reminded me of the first time I watched Leon. I don't know at this point.
It could be.
Come closer.
Because I mean, his face is like recognizable, but I can't say I've seen him anywhere.
Yeah, he has one of those faces where you're like, he's that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, shout out to him. No hate.
Oh, okay. Sorry. No hate, but also that dude was 100% stealing Leon's money.
Bruh.
That dude was 100% stealing Leon's money. Like, there's no other way.
I was feeling that too, but the movie gave me nothing. It's in his performance, so we can agree that it's in his brilliant performance.
Yeah, because they didn't say anything, they didn't give us any hints, but the way he performed, like, this dude is stealing his money. There's no ifs
Every
or buts to it.
time Leon wants money, he was like, okay, for now here's 100, or here's you can put a bucks.
Yeah.
And Leon would be like, awesome. At the back of my mind, I'm like, Also, Luke knew what he was doing, because the way every time they're having a conversation, the way he was framed and the type of lines that he was delivering, it was a subtext, and we picked it up. That
It's
this man is
definitely a
stealing money.
subtext, yeah.
Didn't Mathilda get the money at the end?
Like, huh? Yeah, because Leon was like, if anything happens to me, she must get the money.
And then Mathilda went, and then he was like, I'm going to hold off the money for now. You go back to school.
Yeah, because it's like, I'll keep your money, like a bank, but better than a bank. I'm like, okay.
Yes.
And give her like $100. It's like,
I think it's like, it is like a bank. When you want all your money, obviously the bank is not going to have enough money. So he needs the money to have it in circulation.
Yeah, probably.
So every time she wants, say the money is 10K, he can't give away all the 10K, but he can give away maybe like 600 because he will make it back.
Yeah,
the business and everything else. So it's almost like that. So in a way it's bad, but in a way, hey man, hey look, I hope you're being 100% honest.
Yeah. Literally at this point we can only hope. Like what I was telling myself was like, maybe he's not taking that much. Maybe he's only skimming from the top.
he's skimming from the top, but at the same time, he's not portrayed as 100% evil. So he has that element of, you know what, he is a bit trustworthy, where we can assume that, okay, he's doing good, a little skimming off the top, that's fine.
Yeah. Spoiler. I don't know why we're talking about this now, but anyways, spoiler for those who haven't seen the film, or maybe the international version of the film, which is a bit longer. Because I always wondered to myself, how did they know which apartment they lived in, or how to find them? There's a scene they added.
Who's them? Who?
The DA, Gary Oldman's character.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Because remember they rocked up with like all of them dudes, wearing all of them clothes and everything. And I was like wondering to myself, how did they find the apartment they live in? But then when I was rewatching it, there's a scene that they added just before then where it's like there's like a birthday party at Danny's place, right? He's there, it's at night with the kids, and then Gary, the DA, walks in with a lot of dudes with like guns. And then the kids, tells them the kids to go to the back. And apparently, Danny...
Wait a minute.
What?
Some versions don't have that scene?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, wait a minute, that happened. Okay, yeah, continue.
This thing with us that happened, but I think that was in the extended cut.
Ah.
Yeah. So some versions don't have that scene where it shows him rocking up, and then where you see that he's actually he also contracts them to go kill people, and then we sort of like inferred that he was able to get information from him.
Yes. And then they rock up with the ninja outfits.
So I think him sort of somewhat agreeing to give Mathilda some of the money is sort of like feeling bad for being part of the reason that Leon died.
Gave up his boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's also like, he has a kid as well.
Yeah.
So that could be like, hey man, look, he's a father after all. Which is almost like it parallels the relationship, because Leon is also like childlike in some instances.
Yeah.
Bruh. Reno's performance is amazing, because this man can be dangerous, but so
innocent at the same time.
So innocent looking in a split second. Bro, we've been talking for 40,000 minutes. We haven't even given people the rundown of the film.
They don't need to know that.
A New York guy protects an orphan. That's all you need to know.
That's what you need to know.
Also, it will be fun. I hate this. Okay, let me say. I don't really like using the word pet peeve. I have never used it.
But let me guess. You have a pet peeve.
I have a pet peeve about modern movie audiences that
Okay.
I hate so much. I hate this so much. If you ever do it, I will stab you in your teeth.
What? Not my teeth.
You know when you're watching a movie, for example, The Accountant, right?
Yeah.
And people like, oh, Batman is hanging out with the Punisher. Oh, I hate that so
much.
Oh, I hate that so much.
Oh,
Captain America is hanging with... Oh, I hate it. Oh. Guys, please stop doing that.
Just don't. Stop
I know it's fun, but like the whole multiverse thing is ruined. People are always associating the superhero, the character, and it's always like, hey, Batman is hanging with Iron Man, and I'm like, no. You watch Oppenheimer, people are like, hey, Shelby is hanging with Tony Stark. No, can we not? No, don't.
How did you get here with this film?
No, because a thought that came to mind was like, first of all, have you seen the kids film Mathilda? You had ETV. You have never watched Mathilda?
Oh, Mathilda. Yeah. I remember now.
I was ready to call my grandma, right?
No, I remember Mathilda.
So it's one of those things where it's like, oh, this will This is the dark origin of Matilda after her family was killed. Then she moved to an orphanage and got adopted by Danny, and then developed the powers.
Oh, people say that?
I saw it on one thing, and I was like, that one is entertaining because it's just a theory.
It's a theory, yeah.
Yes,
That's kind of interesting.
I can get behind that because it's not true.
Yeah.
But it's not like saying. For me, it's the specific when people say, "Oh, this guy is hanging out with this guy." I don't know why. I just hate it so much.
That's fair. Let's
not. But how I also love how.
Wait, are we really not gonna give him the rundown?
Oh yes, rundown. This is a very simple film. On a rewatch, I realized how simple it is.
Very simple.
It's simple. Leon is a hitman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hitman. He gets an assignment, poof, 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 and he has a code of women and children, and he only kills people who he feels deserve it. So he gets hired as a contract killer to kill folks. He lives in this apartment building, and his neighbor, Matilda, lives with her family. Matilda is a 12-year-old little girl who lives with a very dysfunctional, abusive family.
Mm-hmm,
So Matilda's dad sells drugs. That's snow powder.
I think he doesn't sell them, but he gets them and transports them.
Yeah, he's like the drop.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
So the DEA is a corrupt dude. Oh, would you know that the person responsible for enforcing drugs is also? Oh my God, who knew?
Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it?
Who would have thunk it? So, Matilda's dad is stealing from the DEA. What you say? But essentially, Matilda's dad gets money, but then he steals a little bit and gives it to the DEA. So the DEA is like, no, this cocaine is running short. Who is responsible for this? And he's like, it's not me, I promise. And then DEA is like, found out who it is. But on the other side, this dude is very abusive to Matilda. A very dysfunctional family. I have a theory. Do you think Matilda is their child? I don't think so, man.
Because no, Matilda said the dad is definitely the dad, but like the mom is like a stepmom.
Oh, yeah, the stepmom. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because there's no way. Well, I mean, there is a way, but in this film, no way.
That's true.
So, Matilda is getting abused, and so because they live in the same building, then they cross each other's paths every once in a while. While Leon is walking to the house. Dudes, DA come, shoot up Matilda's place, and kill the dad while Matilda is out buying some produce for Leon. Comes back, sees
buying milk.
Listen, and some stuff.
Yeah.
And then he walks past the house, sees that his family has been killed, goes to Leon's, begs him to open. That shot
scene.
Bro. That's why I'm like, bro, there's no way. Who taught this lady how to act like this?
Because that scene right there, dude, I think that's probably one of like her best scenes in the whole film. Because like, imagine
you see how
it is.
She's trying to be loud by saying please, but at the same time trying not to be loud because they're gonna hear her. So she's like, please. I can't even do it.
Like, okay, let me paint the scenes for those that haven't seen this film. And again, I don't know why you haven't seen this film, but like, so you've already mentioned she's gone to go get like the produce, right? In the house. So it's like the dad, the stepmom, the older sister, older stepsister, or older half sister, I guess, older half sister, and the youngest brother. Those like the four people in the house.
4 years old.
It's like a 4-year-old little boy. DEA agent walks up. I think he's high on something. That dude is just, because even like the people the other agencies with are like kind of scared of him, low key.
Kinda.
All the way scared of him.
Bruh, man is a loose cannon.
He's a very loose cannon. He walks in and starts shooting at everything that moves. Which is why like his people he's gone with are like scared at the same time. They're like trying to dodge and like be behind him. Because he walks in, shoots like the older sister was just like in front of the TV running or something, walks into the bathroom, sees the mom taking a bath, shoots her, no thought whatsoever, like shooting at anything that moves. Now, that whole scene continues. I'm not focusing on that right now. When they're done, right, and he's cooling off and whatever, Matilda walks back up, or he's coming back to the apartment, and they're on the same floor. So their house is like in the middle, and then Leon's house is at the end. So she's trying to walk back, and then walks past the open door of her house. There's a guy in front with a gun. On the door, there is literally the sister's dead body. Behind her is her younger brother's dead body. So now, obviously, like, if you see that, she's gonna be next. She clocks this, and she's like, I'm not gonna pay, I'm not gonna look. And she just keeps walking past her home towards Leon's apartment. And then it rings the doorbell, and like you said, saying like, please let me in, loud but soft at the same time. And there's like, you can see she knows her life is on the line right now. Bro, that scene was just so intense, so good. Acting was so brilliant. Shot, like the way it was shot as well.
Bruh.
Just brilliant.
Because there's because she's like, please. And we intercut between Natalie, Mathilda, Leon, and the guy at the door.
Yeah.
So, and the crazy thing is, as you're saying, it's a shot, because as we seeing Mathilda, we see the guy in the background blurred. So the imminent danger
is
does
right
not
there.
leave our sights.
Yeah.
Yes. And she's like, please. First she's like, open the door, because she expects the door to open immediately. But she's like, oh, this guy does not want to open. Oh, this guy's not opening. And then it's like, you can see the thought process of her going on like, if this door doesn't open, I will die.
Yeah, you see it. She's like, oh, I'm gonna die.
And the nice thing is, shout out to the cinematographer. When Leon opens the door, there's this light that illuminates her face, almost like God is like revealing himself. Like
yeah,
the savior.
It's like you've been saved. The save. Yeah, that was brilliantly done, actually.
It hits. It's almost angelic. That's the symbolism. Yes.
And things like, someone might think, true. Some might think like, well, why didn't he open to begin with? Like, first of all, Leon is a hitman. He does not get involved in other people's business. He just keeps to himself. He's like that type of person. So the whole time this is happening, obviously you hear the gunshots. He's looking in like the keyhole just to see what's going on with the gun in like by the door in case it spills over to his side. He's not trying to get involved. He's just observing. And he only does that like in the last second when he decides to open up for her.
Which is such a great inciting incident, because it happens like we see everyone involved in the same place. We see all the danger in the same place, and it's like, because usually it's not a bad thing where it's like, oh, there's something happens which is I think that's gonna propel the main character's action and start the story. That always happens.
Yeah.
If when they kill John Wick's dog, that's the inciting incident. Okay, shoot, that's the thing that's gonna propel the action.
Yeah.
But here, what I like here is how it genuinely feels like, bro, if you don't do anything here, this little girl will die. It's almost like it's something, because usually the inciting incident is something that happens to the main character, and then the main character reacts, thus jumping into the journey. But here, something happens to someone else that is bigger than the main character.
Yes.
But it's that action that propels us to the main character, and then we are like to the guy, bro, if you don't open this door right now, this little girl, come on. It's not like we are seeing, oh no, something terrible happened to the main character. We're like, something terrible happened to this person, but we trusted you, my guy, to do something. Which is a very nuanced way of writing an inciting incident. It's subtle, But I think for me, it's one of my favorite parts because
Yeah.
it's so powerful. And then she walks in and it's like,
Dude.
because he knows as well. As soon as he lets her in, it's over.
Yeah. And it's like, it's funny because at some point after that, they realize, because the guy literally was killing everybody there, they realize that there's one person missing, like a little girl. And then the other guy that was by the door realized, well, a little girl just walked past here. Then he goes to the door, slowly pulls out the gun. And but it's a small detail that I really like, because like Leon's looking at the guy across the door, like, oh shit. Pulls the gun out, like trying to like aim for his head. Looks back at the door, sees his head is also like...
That is insane.
He just sees his head is actually more towards the left and then readjusts. Because this man is, at this point, he's ready.
Yes. He's like, just make one move, I'll blow your head off. Just do it.
And then she puts on like cartoons, which then convinces the guy that, oh, then that's just a regular kid that lives there, just going in to watch cartoons. That's normal.
But also the darker part of it. Oh man, the darker part of it is insane because you remember how back home Mathilda was trying to watch cartoons, right? And her sister was always, and she was getting abused. And my interpretation of it is that the cartoons were sort of cartoons were her way of coping.
Yes.
He walks in. She walks in, sees her family, gets into the house, doesn't even cry, doesn't even freak out, just goes to the cartoons because that's her way of tuning out. And that's so dark, man. It's like this little girl just saw her family, and then she's like, "This is the only thing that used to give me joy."
Mind you, it's not okay. Even darker than that, it's not the family, right? Because again, the family's been very abusive to her, like emotionally, physically, and all that. It's the 4-year-old little brother that she saw lying dead in front of the door. The only person in that house. The only person in that house that she loved, and that like they had like a relationship. And instead of crying, instead of crying, she goes to the cartoons, as like that was her only escape, the only escape she knows.
Messed up.
Yikes.
But it's also like very cinematic because they told us a lot without telling us. Without saying a lot. You know, whoever said show don't tell, he was up to something.
They knew something about something.
They knew a thing or two. I'm gonna give them that. Damn.
But also I really like Luc Besson's writing style, because dialogue is very sparse. It's like this film is not dialogue heavy.
Yeah.
It's very direct. Like when the dialogue is there, it's very direct, but it's also very emotional.
Yes. It's almost like the dialogue is not trying to be fancy, because what's happening here is not fancy.
Nah.
I feel like if they tried to make dialogue like quirky, it wouldn't have as emotional of an impact.
Yeah. Question before we continue: how did you feel about Gary Oldman's character?
Oh man, listen. Everyone, I love Gary Oldman. How could you not,
dude?
Listen, bruh. My favorite moment when he pauses when the other officers come to investigate the crime scene and he's there.
Yeah.
And then he pauses and goes, "I don't got time for this Mickey Mouse push." Oh my god.
Yeah.
Larry can go from 0 to 100 and then go back to 0, like nothing happened.
Like nothing.
Literally, like nothing happened, and then he makes the people around him uncomfortable because of that.
Bro, he makes
can never tell
everybody uncomfortable. Like, because
one of my things was like, how did this guy end up as the chief of the DEA, man? How?
Dude,
this man is unstable as hell.
Everyone. That line.
Such an iconic line.
At first, because I thought it was just like a kingpin or like a drug dude, but after they just killed everybody in the apartment, And then the other dude like they were leaving, and then he was like, "Not you, you stay," because the cops are arriving. And then he was like, and I'm like, "Wait, why is he staying?" And it's like, what did he say? It's like, tell him what it's like that we're doing our jobs. I'm like, what do you mean we're doing your job? Like, what? And then that's when it clicked. Oh, these guys are law enforcement.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
This man shot a guy running away.
Yeah.
You're not doing your job, my guy.
Multiple times.
Because he shot his suit.
Just literally. And then the other guy had to like calm him down. And then shot at like an old woman.
When the old woman is like, "Hey, why don't you just leave him alone?" Did you see him? He's like, "Go back inside." I'm like, bro, this is an old lady.
He cared. Like, there was 0 Fs. There was no care left.
But that's the thing, like, that's the thing where I always wonder when, obviously, a huge credit goes to the writers and directors of any film. But you have to wonder how much the actor brings to the role.
Oh yeah, of course.
And yes, and it's one of those things that I'm like, sure, it was written, but part of it is the beauty or the excellence of the actor playing the role.
Yes,
he brings something to the role.
Yeah.
If it was someone else, he would have brought something else.
Something different. Yeah.
Yeah. So for Gary Oldman, film was beautifully written, awesome. But a part of me is like, there's some nuances and dimensions Gary brought to that character to make him as unhinged and as freaking entertaining as he was.
Yeah.
Because every time he was on screen, you were like, oh.
Dude, I'm on edge when this dude's on screen because like, what is he gonna do?
One of my favorite sequences when Mathilda tries to go to kill him at the office.
At the office, yeah.
Then he goes to the bathroom. One of my favorite, probably my favorite shot of the film is the close-ups in the dinner table they have with Mathilda.
The dinner table.
But yes, when Mathilda asks what do you do, and then Leon says, "I'm a cleaner."
Oh yes.
And then Leon tilts his head and looks up. That's my favorite shot of the film.
Yeah.
But my second favorite, when Mathilda walks in and Gary is behind the door and he closes the door.
Yeah.
But then we go to Mathilda, and then we cut back to Gary Oldman's character, and he's all the way there. There's something so intimidating about the evil guy standing all the way over there, just looking
at you.
Walks slowly. That shot. It reminded me of the first introduction of Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs. He's just standing in the middle of the room, and you're like, man, this guy's unhinged. Because he closes the door and he just stands there, and it's a wide shot, and he's way over there. And it's almost like we're saying, obviously, not even almost, it's like we're saying it from Matilda's perspective, and he's way over there. But then we know what he's doing. So he's just standing there menacing. Tell me, what would be more scary? Walking up to, let's say, a dark place and seeing a guy just standing there. Just standing. Or walking up to a place and you see a guy trying to intimidate you by saying things or being quote unquote menacing.
The dude standing there is terrifying.
Bruh.
Hey,
There's
bro,
something so ominous about it.
Very ominous. And what made it worse is that like she thought she had the drop on him.
Yes.
And things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because she thought
she was walking to the stalls.
Yeah. But nah. That because dude, he didn't like, he just walked to the sink, popped one of his pills, washed his face, and he did it in his own time, no rushing, just on his own time. And then when he took out the gun, he didn't take it out and point it at her like more cool. He just casually. Very casually.
No, I can kill you, by the way.
Just by the way. It's like, by the way, I'm most probably gonna kill you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That exchange in the bathroom where you're like, oh, I'm guessing it's more personal.
Yeah.
And she goes, you killed my brother. He goes, I'm sorry. And we're like, for a second, it looked genuine. I'm like, oh, is he?
Bro, that's actually, I was about to say, for
The
me,
nigga's like,
yeah, that was one of my favorite dialogues, like lines, when
Bruh.
she was like, do you, I'm not sure the exact words, but it's something along the lines of, do you like your life? And then she said, yes. And then he's like, okay, good. Because one thing I hate is taking or killing someone that doesn't value life. And I'm like,
yes.
what the actual hell? There's no winning with this guy.
There's no winning. Because it's on some, it's only when you fear death. And I'm like, bruh, this is a 12-year-old little girl. What are you dropping some philosophical bombs for?
Bro. Oh shoot. I just remembered, I remember reading somewhere. Because going back to what you said, like, is it the writing or the actor? In this case, it's a bit of both, but more the actor. Because Gary Oldman,
In the bathroom exchange.
in the whole thing, Gary Oldman improvised a lot of his performance.
Oh man. I mean, but
even that everyone,
as you're saying, that it's both things. It's they feed off each other.
Yes.
I feel like if you have a well-written, well-rounded character, you can add improvisation because you know what
you know the character. I think it's one of the things. Yeah, like they made sure that he understood who and what his character is, and you have to have good direction and writing to get that. And once the director and the actor understand who this character is, it's easy.
Yes, then you can take the character anyway, and it will work.
Yeah.
Then it's only about just like, okay, we're using this take, we're not using this take. Because not even with, like moments like, when Leon, you know there's moments where, Mathilda says something while Leon is trying to drink the milk, and it freaking gets him. Catches him off guard and he spills the milk on himself.
Yeah.
You're like, how many takes did they do that on? And
actually,
that's the
yeah.
one they went with. So yeah, so you can only assume that okay, they played around the scene a little bit, getting the rhythm of the lines. Until eventually they're like, okay, that's the one we're gonna go with. But also with Gary Oldman character, like, how did he? Because we've seen characters take drugs in movies before.
Yeah.
Times.
Yeah.
But the way he does it, man, is just so. We don't even question it for a second. We're like, who would do that? We're like, yeah, this guy. This guy right here.
Him?
Yeah,
Him?
totally.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely do that. And you can
I love
see
how
that he's
they
being
didn't
taken
tell
it.
us. Ah, yes. I also love that he didn't tell us what drug it was. Did they?
No, they never did.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, audience doesn't need that much information.
Yeah.
It's drugs, and he takes it and turns into this crazy person for 3 seconds, then proceeds to be a crazier person for the rest of his life. There's no off switch with this guy.
Dude. Also, like,
But the action.
Action is very 90s.
Ah, yes, it's so
Very
90s.
90s.
Guns on. I love the 90s action though, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's just so 90s.
Yeah. Also, like, one thing I was thinking about, the training arc.
Yeah.
Imagine being that dude, like either one of the two dudes where they showed us, where you just out there jogging. I feel like the first dude was like a politician or something, and then next thing you know, you're getting shot at by, like, what was it, paint or whatever?
Yeah, paintballs.
Yeah. Like, what? From where?
And he's like, I'm okay. But, like, think about it. That was so easy to kill you with the paintball. Your security is ass, my guy. That's why. I'm firing everybody. You, Timothy, get out of here.
Get out of here.
I got shot.
But the second
other
dude,
guy that was just like, bruh.
yeah, the second dude was just
to the
messed
left,
up.
please.
Bruh, because, like, the second dude wasn't actually a hit, and this dude, like, they're gonna kill him already, But before he actually kills him, he basically makes her do the training. And I'm like, what? I feel
And I part of me thought they were just messing around and he wasn't actually going to kill him.
yeah. But no.
Leon is like, oh, actually, fish, almost forgot. You must die. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, so this was an actual hit.
Dude. But also, like, that life for a 12-year-old?
Bruh.
That's kind of messed up.
But also the element of Mathilda falling in love with Leon.
Yeah.
That could have
easily gone
in the
south.
writing. Yes. Not even in the movie world, but in the writing, the way that they handled that, it shows brilliance.
Yeah.
Because it could have been sour real quickly.
Real quick.
Even though it wasn't comfortable, because of the movie, not because of the writing.
Yes. Because it wasn't comfortable.
Yes. Because you're like, oh, the girl, what are you... But at the same time, you're like, oh, she's never felt this kind of safety, this kind of love before, this kind of protection.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that she would. And it's one of those things where you know, kids see things in movies and they're like, oh, I'm in love. And you're like,
No, you're not.
you don't even know how to count to 75 yet.
True.
What do you mean?
And I think another thing that made it work is how they wrote Leon's character as well.
Yes.
Because I think so he also says it at some point where he's old enough, but he still has to grow up.
Yeah.
Like emotion, like his maturity is he's very childlike.
But I think, I have a theory.
Yeah.
I think his childlikeness is not necessarily because he's childlike, but I think it's because of the work has taken a toll on him, so he has suppressed a lot of feelings.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, he mentioned that he fell in love with a girl back in Italy, but then his dad didn't want her dating him, so this nigga killed his own daughter just because he didn't want to get Leon.
Yeah.
That's messed up. Them Italians, they got somebody to put him in check. But then,
And then like
he was in love,
Yeah.
and he lost essentially the love of his life, and he got broken because of that. That's when he moved to America and became this guy.
At 19.
So, at 19,
Mind you,
So
this
he's
guy can't read.
can't read,
Can't definitely like
No
get ready
job.
right. Yeah.
obviously, knows no one here, and the job he gets is to be a hitman. And so
Yeah.
I think that his childlikeness, it's almost like the childlikeness is it's how we see him from the outside. From the
Yeah.
inside, he's just a broken
He's a
man.
broken man. Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. And I
Which is
think
why I love how.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, continue.
No, because I'm saying the one when he first told Mathilda that he's a cleaner, like a hitman, and then she was like, "Cool." I think that was the first person to like think what he's doing is, or like think of him as cool, because he's looked up
Yeah.
in like surprise and shock.
Yeah, because I mean, no one wants to like someone who kills people.
Yeah,
So he's also got that I'm not liked in society, so I'm gonna exclude or seclude myself.
yeah,
Which I think, when Mathilda, how am I gonna say this? Leon, in the this thing is so layered. Leon cannot love Mathilda, obviously because she's a child,
yes,
but he doesn't outwardly state that. From his perspective, Leon cannot love because he lost the person that he loved,
yes,
and because of the work that he's doing. So that's how the writers treated it. There was like, Mathilda being a little girl is not, sounds fucked up when you say it, but it's like the little girl loving you is not, her being little is not the reason why you don't love her. But that's the general sense. But
Yeah,
it
it's
has
just
a
common
specific
sense, yeah.
reason. Yes, but
Yes.
the character specific reason is Leon is a broken man
Yeah.
who cannot love, and so I love how they not replaced, but they brought in a different kind of love from Matilda. It's not romantic, so as to say that whatever kind of love it is, Leon cannot experience that kind of love. It's not limited to romance, but they're using the Leon's romantic love as a token to highlight his rather lack thereof love in his life, and Matilda's quote unquote romantic life, which we know that is not romantic. It's because of the parental love that she never got. So you
Yeah.
see how the love on the outside is like, oh, yeah, she's romance, but understand where both of these characters come from and how they view love. And I think that's perfection writing right there.
Yeah.
That's next level.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically redemption through love in a way, for both characters in different ways.
Yes.
Because I mean, if you think about both of them in the beginning of the film, they were both like isolated and both alone. Like Matilda with the family, and then with Leon through his job, and then it's like this connection. Like Matilda finds someone who cares for her, and she obviously interprets that as like love. And then with Leon at some point finds a purpose
Yes.
through killing by protecting her in a way.
Yeah, almost like Matilda finds someone who loves her. Leon finds someone to love, and it's that redemption where it's like, oh, it's, Leon is like, oh, I can care for someone else, and I can show my care for someone else.
Yes.
Obviously, in the plot of the movie, by protecting her and saving her from these people.
Yes.
And Matilda can learn that someone actually cares for her, that they will go all this way to protect her.
Brilliant writing.
None of this is said in the film.
This is true.
See that.
Yeah. And it's like, it's one of those things where, like you said, this is uncomfortable. Those scenes are very uncomfortable. But
Yes.
it's also like done in a way where you, if you actually like watch it, you can see these subtexts in it.
Yes. It's almost like the writers were like, what I'm saying, writers was one guy. Luke was like, I don't want the people to be uncomfortable because of the content, but I want them to be comfortable because of the context.
Yes. 100%.
And it's okay actually as audiences, we want to be that uncomfortable as content, because that's the reason why we go to movies, to experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you definitely
If
feel
the
it. Yeah.
content was the uncomfortable, then we'll be like, okay, fuck this guy.
Bro, sorry, just to cut you off. But a lot of films these days do things for shock value, and that's the difference between content and context. Because that's
100% true.
Bro, like a lot of people don't understand there's like a huge difference between content and context. Because content, you just show these extremely unnecessary scenes with like gore and violence or whatever.
You're showing the violence for the violence.
But like, dude, here the situation is showed, and it's like the context behind it is what's uncomfortable, and then you're able to watch it because it's like you having to think about these things as a human person. But if you're just showing us content that's like I don't want to see that, man.
And then it's like, oh, if you don't want to see this, then you don't appreciate this is what real life is. And I'm like, and we're like, we don't watch movies because we wanna see real life. I wanna watch movies because we wanna watch movies. We want stories. We don't wanna be and anyone who hides behind the shock value, that's a sign of how incompetent they are in their chosen field.
Yes.
It's the same
I know
with,
it sounds bad, but I fully agree with you.
Yes. It's the same with comedians who like say controversial things and then they were like, oh, it's comedy. You guys can understand. And I'm like, no. The aim of comedy is to be funny.
Yeah.
That's their sole purpose, to make us laugh.
Not to be controversial.
The reason why
just
them guys, yes, the reason why them guys seemingly make us laugh while saying controversial things, it's because we are laughing. The
Yeah.
laugh comes first, and then the controversy. But if you those inexperienced comics are like, oh, I can get on stage and say
Whatever I want.
controversial, whatever I want, hateful speech, and then if you don't like it, it means you don't understand comedy. And it's like, no, my guy, I'm not laughing.
It's just not
You don't
funny.
understand comedy. I'm the guy who understands this because I've laughed before.
Yeah.
Terrible.
It's just messed up.
Remember the scene from Babel where between the cop and the Asian girl.
Yes, yes.
Comfortable.
Oof.
The context.
Oof. That was
not
really
like it's
uncomfortable.
just- yeah.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think about that scene like whenever I'm watching films that like have some how do I put this? When there's like shock value for just shock value's sake. And I'm like, then I have to like find myself like, hey, how could I have done this better? And I just think to that scene because there, that scene was just so uncomfortable, but it was also so good. Like I don't know how, like it was a brilliant scene because the context behind it was just heart wrenching, and
Yeah. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe if as audience we understand why the characters are doing these things,
yes,
or why these things are happening, that gives us context.
yes,
Yeah, because you're saying is like, this is uncomfortable, but it's heartbreaking. The heartbreaking part is you understanding why this.
yes. Because if I didn't understand it, it would be just like, oh, why are you showing that? Turn this. I'm not gonna watch this anymore. But because I understood why and I knew the context behind it, it was just heartbreaking. And I was like, damn.
Yeah, and heartbreak can be uncomfortable. Heartbreak can be painful. Heartbreak can be scary.
And you know what it
can
is?
be a lot of things.
And like you mentioned earlier, this is why we go to watch films because you want to feel something.
Yes.
Damn.
One of the film scholars, if I may, Michael Hugh was like the main, which is so simple, but it's insane. He said the main reason people watch movies is to feel.
Yeah.
And then he followed by saying, you can make people think, but in order for them to think, they must first feel. That's the only reason why we think, is because we feel something.
Yes.
But if you remove the feel part and just make us think, no.
Nah.
We can think by ourselves, my guy.
I could do that in my spare time, bro.
all day, every day.
Okay.
But you have to make us feel.
Yeah.
And this movie definitely made us feel.
100%. 100%. We've come across the hour, my dude. Any final thoughts?
Final thoughts? 90s action. Give me more. What was my final thoughts?
Yeah. I'm in agreement with that. My final thoughts, and we forgot to even bring this up, but like the way he takes care of his plant is, in a way, I felt like it symbolized his isolation.
Yes.
And I like how, in the end, how he just wrapped it with care before sending her down. As like...
Yeah. Like everything's going on and man is saving a plant.
Yeah, I just felt like that was part of him. It's like, Mathilda, you take this. And her planting it so it could have roots at the end. I just thought that was beautiful.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful moment.
Also, this movie was beautifully shot, man. Like, it looks so good.
Yeah.
It looked freaking amazing.
Yeah. Classic 90s film.
Classic 90s. No notes.
No notes.
Also, unrelated, before we close, I love the poster for the movie. I hate modern posters where they try to include every single person in the poster.
Bro, the Avengers and like with everybody in the poster. Oh man, I am not a fan.
Get in the poster. Hey, the man, get over
Get
here.
in here.
It's like, bruh. There's a video I'm gonna send you about movie posters once I find it, and it will make you appreciate movie posters even more.
All right, send it.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not seen Leon, you're wasting your life. I'm gonna say this.
Your entire life?
Your life means nothing if you've never watched this movie.
Damn.
Look at yourself in the mirror and say, "My life means nothing."
I'm not gonna go that far. Oh,
yes.
But peeps, it's been good. We shall catch y'all on the next one. Goodbye.